Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be discussing the Hermit Tarot card. So why don't you grab your card and we will take a look. So as you can see here, the Hermit is a solitary figure sort of out in the wilderness. In this case, there's not a ton of trees. It almost looks a little bit more of like a mountaintop. We also have a lantern. The Hermit Tarot, I should say, will often have a sort of light feature in it. In this case, it is this lantern with an actual star sitting in it. Another sort of feature is that this is a slightly older individual, and so while this card may represent older individual, that is not always the case. So some of the definitions of the Hermit Tarot card are, if someone is to be characterized, I would say that they're thoughtful, insightful, maybe a little bit of a loner or sort of solitary person, but they're definitely just a thinker. And that might be one definition for this card. Another definition is that this may actually be a student, someone who is searching for answers, who is developing their own beliefs or their own sort of systems, if you will. And in that case, the Hermit does represent a student. Another idea for the Hermit is the idea of a mentor coming forward. So if you're studying something or if you're just interested in learning something different, there is someone or perhaps a small group of people who will sort of appear and who are going to help you move forward in whatever direction that may be. So those are going to be the more, in my opinion, traditional definitions for the Hermit. And occasionally we do, again, since the card represents it and since it is such a thoughtful card, this is usually associated with older individuals, but there is an idea, or I guess the idea of sort of the old soul, right? And so sometimes this can also still be a younger person, again, though they're going to be in a very thoughtful, just very cerebral, I guess, probably moment in time in their lives, if this is sort of representing them. Now, if we were to flip this upside down, I would say that perhaps if this is the mentor situation, we still need to sort of find the person we're looking for, or we really need to make sure that we're working with the right people. If this is someone who is just a thoughtful, insightful person, this might hint that there needs to be a little bit more of a self-awareness, because even though you're sort of outward looking and you might be sort of internalizing information, there is this aspect of self-awareness that we all need to sometimes work on as well. Another definition might be that while you're interested in something, you might not necessarily be headed in the exact right direction. You might need to, it's not saying give it up completely, but you might need to research another aspect of it that you're not exactly considering, or start at a different point than you anticipated. So again, not super negative, just what sometimes I call reverse sort of aspects when the card is reversed, or delayed aspects when the card is reversed. Again, you don't need to work with those reverse interpretations if they just don't feel right. You can just work with the right side up interpretations. So let's take a look at a few other Hermit Tarot cards. So here are our various Hermit cards. And so again, we can see they all have in common this sort of aspect of light, the aspect of shedding light on the unknown, of searching and hopefully finding what we are looking for. While these two are out in nature, this one is in a library, but again, remember that the Hermit can also sort of reference a student. So in this way, that's sort of emphasizing that student, independent learner aspect, if you will, that things are at his fingertips. He just needs to find his way to them. As you can see here, the Hermit for this one, I'll bring it up a little bit, is called Lancelot in Exile. So again, emphasizing that this is often more so a solo journey. You may have a mentor, but usually this is sort of a solo system, if you will. You might have just one teacher, not many. And again, this is also hinting that the answers, even though you may have a mentor, are sometimes within yourself, and sometimes within you synthesizing that information and deciding what works for you. This one does have more of a nature aspect to it with the trees and what appears to be some wooded area. And some hermits will also be in nature more so, like this one. So again, these are the various hermits we may come across. Thank you for joining me for the Hermit Tarot Card video. Again, take what works for you and leave the rest. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe for future videos.